Greetings, QCS Bill fans, and welcome to a TCL. But this is an older TCL. This is older than the, I believe it was an S435 that we did. So this is a 65-inch S403. And of course, it's got bad backlights. Actually, the backlights on this are so bad that it'll flicker on for about half a second, and that's it. So, other than that, nothing new. So shall we tear it all apart? Let's get to it. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, and then with this particular set, you're going to need a number one long shafted screwdriver, because one, the screws that are right next to the control panel are number ones, and also two, these screws, if you're using a ratcheting bit driver, they're not going to come out. You can use a number one, you got to push fairly hard. I would actually use like a long shafted screwdriver in particular for these, and it'll work just fine. Okay, then we can just lift this guy off. Okay. So you want to lift up the bottom and then take off the back, but roll it like so, because your infrared button board and speakers all attach on this cable. And then you can take that off. Okay, so on this one here, you can see we've got our backlight strips here. So this has got vertical strips, so instead of the typical horizontal strips. So these go up and down, and there's 12 of them, if I remember right. So, okay. With this one, we are gonna have to get it as flat as possible, so we've got to take everything off. So let's start with the Wi-Fi card over here. Okay, and then you can disconnect your antenna, like so. Okay. The antenna is attached to the buffer cover, so when you take the buffer cover off, it'll come off with it. And then we can take our Wi-Fi card support off. And there we go. You slide it to the left and it comes off. And we can take our mount off here. And slide our antenna wire out from underneath here, like so. All right, then we're going to have to disconnect these anyways. So you can just go ahead and disconnect our backlight wires. I'll take our power supply off here. Just like that. And there's power supply. Okay, then go ahead and take our mount lugs off. And disconnect our LVDS cable here. And it's got double-sided tape on it to hold it in place. So you'll want to gently take that off. And you can remove your Wi-Fi card cable and your power supply cable. Then go ahead and take your T-conn board cover off. Okay, and then go ahead and remove the T-conn board. Okay, these big standoffs will unscrew. I don't think we'll necessarily need to. I don't think those are going to stick up far enough to be a concern. Okay, remove our other mount. Go ahead and disconnect the rest of our backlight wiring. Now on this particular set, these plug directly into the backlights. So it's the backlight plug that's actually sticking out the back of the set right here. That's why you got to disconnect these. The other sets that you've seen me do in the past, that's never been the case. There's always been like a central access hole for the wire to go through and then connect. So you never had to remove the wires themselves. So anyway, just have our main board. Okay. All right, there is that. Now, yep, it's number 2. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and take our buffer covers off. Now, at time of filming, this set's about 8 years old. So, interestingly enough, we were still able to get backlights for it. I've had other sets that are not even quite that old, and you still could get backlights for it anymore. Now I'm taking the top row silver screws out first because they're all number 2 Phillips. Okay. And then change our bit here, and we'll go to our 0. And we'll tack out this lower row of coarse thread screws. Now these coarse thread screws go into the plastic bottom trim bezel on this. And then this set is far different than the newer sets. I don't know, totally see it. Well, you can kind of see it. In the corner, there's a newer TCL, which has the frame around it like you've seen me do before for the 3-sided frame. This does not come apart that way. So this one's going to be different. Alright, there's all the coarse thread screws. And then that side comes off first. And then this side. Okay, just like that. Okay, so this one has the plastic retainers. So this one won't be too bad to take off. So, okay, so I think what I'm going to do with this one, because this back is actually screwed directly to the outer frame, and that's what's holding the glass in place, as long as, well, with everything else as well. And so I think what we'll do is we'll take these side screws out on both sides, and we will leave the bottom screws in place because we've got, oh, I guess there's only two. Yeah, so there's two bottom screws. There's one screw here and one screw in the other corner. And we'll leave the side screws in place, and we'll leave the top screws in place. Yeah, because this, yeah, it looks like this will just come right off. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay, yeah, so this holds this whole thing together. So, yeah, so we're going to take these side screws out. Okay, now, okay, so on these, so you got the tape, the grounding tape that you'll have to take off. And then once you take the grounding tape off, these, you just pull these apart, these retainer clips, and it'll just slide out just like that. And you do that all the way across. The way I'm going to flip this is I've got to flip it towards me. And so you're not going to really be able to see it when I take those off. I'm going to leave those down for now, so then that way the buffer doesn't move too much, because the set's so old, I really don't want to break anything. So, okay. All right, time to do-si-do. All right, just like that. Get this where I want it. Okay. All right, then. Ooh. Okay, yep, good thing we did it that way, because this is a convoluted pain in the butt. So I'm taking these lower corner screws out. Okay, then I think I can show you. So that undoes this, but this, the front facing part of the frame, is one piece. So you can kind of see right here this just kind of lifts up like so. And then, yeah, this is actually, I can feel it. There's a clip right there. Yep. So there's a clip right there. Okay, so this is clipped in to the support frame. Okay, so we're just going to have to wiggle this out kind of gently. Yeah, so if you come up and towards the glass, it'll release the clip because the clip is facing the outside. All right, so there's that side. It's just getting that first one. It's getting the first one to budge. No, I don't want the glass to come up. I want the whole thing to come up. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I don't want the glass. There we go. Getting that first one, it wants to lift the side frame up with it. Don't let it. Okay. I think this is kind of a first gen unit, so. All right, then go through this bottom edge and we're going to take these guys out. Rotating, flipping it over, I would be very leery of undoing this frame first because the glass might shift and you might break the glass. So I would do it this way. Okay. And then the top half is just like the bottom half. It just comes right up, pretty much. Got to wiggle it just a little bit, but not a whole lot. Okay. And come on. The grounding tapes is stuck. There. Okay. All right, now. Okay, there we go. Okay. Woohoo! There's the nerve-wracking part. All right, so now we're just going to check around the edge here. Yeah. There is a rubber pad, probably a rubber silicone pad, that the glass sits on, but it's not adhesively stuck down. Although we'll be careful to check the top edge because on the newer ones, oh yeah, there is, yep. Okay, so the top edge is adhesively stuck down to yeah. So, oh, and it's not just the little bit of the top edge, it's the whole top edge. Oh, well, that's fun. Okay. So, okay. Well, we'll show you the trick on how to deal with that. Okay. All right, so we're going to wipe down the edge here. being careful around our cables. Let's see, and we have assembly tape here and here. So, okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and release our buffers first. And to do that, we've got to undo the tape. And the bottom does not look to be adhesively attached to the frame. So that's a good thing. Okay. There we go. All right. Now we'll go grab some suction cups. Now, dirty trick for this is paper towel. Or you can use shop towel, either way. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and undo our tape on either side, like so. All right, so then we're going to take a paper towel. All right, we're going to make sure these are clean, and then we're going to very slowly. So as I lift up on this, you can see that this is attached. So I have a thought here. Maybe we do this the old-fashioned way. However, so this piece of subframe is actually clipped into this. So, clipped into the outer frame. So, let's see if we can just wiggle this loose. Ooh, look at that. All right, cool. So you could use a putty knife. I'm using a razor knife to do this. Cool. All right, so this will work. So basically the same idea. So we'll take our paper towel here, and we're just going to use the paper towel, kind of fold it up, to hold our screen up to keep it from clipping back into place. And then we can just work our way down and undo our clips. Let's see, there's a little bit of adhesive on the bottom of that one, right here. So we'll make sure we put this guy in here to keep it from sticking back down. I just need a little bit more flex. Just like that. Cool. Okay. And then we got this guy and One more. And that's it. Okay. Just like that. Now. Okay, so the only thing you want to do is just be cautious when you lift this up and make sure you kind of come slowly, because this silicone rubber gasket wants to kind of stick just a little bit. Not too bad. Okay, up like that. And then just slide your buffers out. That's it. Okay. All right, hard part's over. All right, so now we got to take. All right, so now we got to take our inner frame apart. So that way we can get to our layers, because our layers is underneath this guy. So, it's all basically the same. It's actually not, like, these are rubber, but you can definitely tell on the top one, that top one's, it's rubber, but it's more of adhesive. And so, yeah, I would definitely take it off like that. Okay, now, let's see, this one. Okay, so we've got clips on the bottom edge down here. Yep. And kind of the same thing. You're just going to work them loose with a razor or putty knife. And then they're basically just going to pop right out. All right, and then this guy, push down, out. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we'll take a picture of this. I'm just getting it in between the plastic latch, like so. Oop, broke the tip of my razor knife. That's okay. Okay, just like that. And then repeat on this side. Easiest way is actually push down on the frame. That way you got more room to get your razor or whatever you're going to use to get this off, out, and then lift up at the same time. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, then we got our lovely assembly tape here. Oh, guess there was two more on the top. Okay, there we go. Okay, all right, then we're down to, yeah, so you can see there's a piece of adhesive here that's completely hardened and dried out now. There's also the same stuff up here. It actually looks like it's brushed on. Yeah, it looks like it's just a piece of adhesive to just that brushes on and dries really hard, and it's just to hold the reflector shield in place. So, okay. All right, now we got to take all of our standoffs off. So this will be fun. Okay, then we're just going to gently lift this up, hopefully. Oh, that's different. Yep. That's super different. All right, you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. So we've got double-sided tape holding on to these pads. I guess those are to keep the reflector uniform so you don't get any strange flashlighting effects on the outer edge of the panel. Interesting. Okay, just like that. And sweet. Are they all glued in? Nope. Oh, they're not glued in. Now that's a bonus. I like that. Cool. So, all we have to do is unscrew why did they keep this design? This is silly. Yeah, talk about making this way easy. Then slide them out of their little keyholes. That's it. Like, really, TCL? Come on. You couldn't have kept with that design? What the heck? All right, we'll repeat the process 11 more times. Okay. So we got our new sets here, courtesy of shopjimmy.com. These are specifically SJ-006-P1K3507B, a set of 12. Now, these have double-sided adhesive tape on them. So, I'd rather not screw them down if it were me. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to slit the tape. Like so. Then Just like that. And we're going to tighten them down. And they just need to be snug. They don't have to be super tight. So down to seat and a quarter turn at most. Okay, just like that. And 37.9 volts. So yep. So there you go. Same load as the other ones. So okay, and repeat the process. Okay. All right. Ugh. There's the not so fun part. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and connect the backlights. All right, so these are in sets of 4. So, woo. That's one set. And yeah, they're bright when you put them all together. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now we can put Johnny 5 back together. Okay. And you got these little alignment pins, so it sits in there. That's why you don't really need that stuff. The tape. Tape's kind of redundant at this point. Okay. Make sure that's in the pins. Okay. Okay. There you go. All fixed and good as new. So, yep. that was it. Unfortunately, I had a little technical difficulty with the camera. It stopped recording right before I was putting the glass back on. And so you didn't see me put the frame and everything back on. I would highly recommend 2 people to do that. The way the glass sits inside that subframe, it is extremely picky about how it's exactly lined up. And so if you don't have it in there just right, it's not going to go together right. So that's it. Otherwise, yeah, you saw everything you needed to see, realistically. So like, share, subscribe. If you've got questions, comments, concerns, always leave them in the comment section below. I do enjoy your comments. And we'll catch you on the next one. Happy TCL fixing. And bye for now.